Hello.
Hello. Okay, so we have another ghee video that's got like 7 other ghees in it, and then we ordered more ghee. So these should be 3. Plus, kind of a specialty ghee. This one's got like curry in it, which it's got ghee in it, and so we're gonna try that one and see what happens. This one is from Pure Indian Foods, and it's a cultured ghee, and An knows what cultured ghee is.
I do know what cultured
You
ghee
do?
is.
Shall you explain it?
Shall I explain what it is? So cultured ghee comes from cultured butter, and it's so usually when you make butter, you take cream or raw milk, and you pour it in a blender, and you keep blending it or whisk it, I guess. Anyway, there's different ways how to make butter, but you just use milk or cream. And in the case of cultured butter, you ferment it for a certain amount of time. And what the fermentation does is that it releases lactobacteria.
Lactobacillus?
Yeah. But also it also releases more diacetyl, and diacetyl is a chemical which chemical compound which the ums aren't great, but it's a chemical compound. So diacetyl is a chemical compound which has a very buttery flavor, and so that's actually what gives butter its buttery flavor. So when you ferment it, it releases more diacetyl, which actually gives it an intense buttery kind of flavor. And it also kind of has like a farmhousey kind of flavor too, with the other bacteria and whatnot that ferments. A little bit of funk, but a little buttery funk. So that's what this is.
He's homebrewer, as you might be able to. Okay, you wouldn't be able to tell that from the shirt, because anybody can get the shirt. But he brews beer. All right, cool.
Rest in peace, Uncle Billy's.
Peace would be interesting. Anyway, yeah, and so then this one's gonna be the curry one, which really you would just use it in place of like curry stuff, and that's a great Whole30 option if you're on the Whole30. And then this one is a Thrive Market brand one, which I like their stuff because it's cheaper and it's spicy. Good spicy, but it's usually really high quality stuff. It's pretty good. Hit or miss on some. And then this one's another goat's milk ghee, which this was the first goat's milk ghee we tried in the other video, and it's by Mount Capra. And they also have like goat's milk powder, and they also have a cultured one that we haven't tried just yet. This one is freaking phenomenal. I used it in coffee already, and it was awesome. And this one is glass, right? Yeah, it's glass. You can confirm by hitting it until it hurts.
Did that hurt?
It did. I went too far because the middle almost feels like it could be compressed. That was disillusion. This one's a plastic jar, and then this one is another glass jar. Alright, and the things that we measure on, and we did it in the last video as well, is the jar flavor, which is kind of like the packaging flavor. Whenever you taste something and you get this kind of like candy, you'll eat it and you'll be like, this tastes like plastic. And the next one is going to be like the nutty flavor, so kind of like, obviously almonds are a bit of a nutty flavor, so you get that in there as well. And then like the cow flavor, so how funky does it taste? Can you like taste the grass? You eat it. And then the caramelized flavor, which there's such a thing, you probably not have had brown butter in your life, and ghee is different from brown butter just because whenever you make brown butter, you don't strain out the milk solids, and with ghee you strain out the milk solids, so it becomes like lactose free, and it's easier on the tummy if you have lactose digesting skills and stuff. And then neutral flavor, so how close does it taste to neutral, and then the texture is just like how delicious is the texture. Alright, so we're gonna start. This time you are in the way, little lotus flower. I don't want to I actually have hurt myself with this. It's quite sharp, and I would rather not stab my face with that.
I don't want that.
No. We've got coffee in between. It just kind of cleanses the palate. Also, if you're gonna go smell a lot of candles, if you take coffee beans with you, or some of the shops will have it, and you smell it, it like clears the palate. It's like the magic of coffee. Yeah, that's how I found out about it in the first place. Alright, cool. So, is he goat's milky?
Yeah. I'm assuming we're going to finish with this one because it's probably going to be overpowering, right?
That's probably a good idea.
Okay.
That is your spoon. And we're just doing like a small amount. This one is very creamy. It's really similar to this one. It's kind of like if you've ever had lard before, or like pork fat.
Huh.
Similar texture.
I mean, it tastes identical to the other one in my opinion.
It's very, very thick. And actually the reason we have this one is to try the two side by side.
Oh.
Yeah, it's very, very thick and creamy on this one.
The flavor's the same. This is just a little bit more waxy.
A little bit, yeah. They're very similar. So like, if you like goat cheese,
Yeah.
super similar to like the goat cheese flavor, which might sound weird, but if you think about like the fact that we're having cow's milk, I mean like, it's probably equal weirdness. They're both milk.
This one's just a little more.
It's less goaty. I think this one's a little bit more neutral.
It tastes, yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say diluted, but neutral. That's the word. That's more appropriate.
Appropriate for the situation. Alright, so jar slash packaging flavor, I don't get anything in the jar slash packaging.
Oh yeah, I mean.
I don't. Alright, how did I think of you? You are gold nuggets. Oh yeah, it's gold nugget. Let's see if they say anything about it. Pasture raised goat butter. Looks like it's proudly made in the golden state of California, which I've never heard of the golden state before. They seem to have like a cool program. Feed one. We have a buy one, feed one model. With each jar purchased, we feed a child in need. They source we source the best local butter from goats that are on pristine green grass 365 days a year. I don't know if they ask the goats if it's pristine or how they figure that out.
A bottle of butter.
A bottle of butter. What is a bottle?
It's a buttle.
Oh.
And I was like.
That almost sounds like bustle. We have a new word. It's called bottle. Nutty flavor? I don't really get any nutty flavor from it.
No.
Cool. And then goat flavor? I would say it's like a 3. On a scale of 1 to 10, like 10 being like I'm eating goat.
Like 2.
Like 2? Alright, cool. So we'll just make that at 2.5 as an in between. Caramelization? I don't get any caramelization.
None. I mean, if you look at the jar, it's so white. You know, it's
right.
There's not anything.
And like, see how you can do that? I'm not going to do that with this one because it can't happen. And so both of them are really kind of like, to me, like very lard flavored, like very much like the texture of kind of like bacon grease, not as strong as
like
bacon grease.
Like a funky lard. You know?
Yeah, like it's definitely not like super ghee flavored. And neutral, that's about the same as like the caramel cow flavor. So yeah, I'd say it's pretty neutral, like 10 being not neutral at all, and 0 being like really close to neutral. I'd put it at 2.
Okay.
Same? Mm-hmm. And then texture, which 10 being like, oh my god, this is so silky, it's from like goat gods, and then 1 being like gross texture.
Oh, 7.
7 texture? Ooh, that's pretty high. I would say 8, so we'll do a 7.5. Alright, cool. And so, our complete
I
number.
thought that we're doing separate thing. We're combining them now. The rating. It's at 7.5 and.
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you that I did that, but I did that on the last one. Oh, and then overall, epic level. I put that like a 9.
5.
5? Why 5?
It's not my thing. It's really good, but it's just the whole goatee thing. It's just,
Alright, cool. I love the goatee thing, but I like unique things to like a crazy amount. So between 5 and 9, it's 7. Alright, cool. Goat's milk aside. We're gonna try them all on bread in a little bit too, because most people probably aren't eating it straight from the jar. Alright, cool. And then this one is the Thrival, your instrument.
It's not good. It's just like, remember the Fourth and Heart? Oh god. Oh. I mean, this might be a good brand, but remember when we tried the Fourth and Heart and it was like really chunky, and then you got a new bottle and that was much better. So it's the same thing with this one. I think it's just a bad bottle.
So I've been reading about it before.
Jesus.
So the texture of this is like super grainy. Can you go check to see if it's actually capturing how grainy that is? So this one's super grainy, and what I've been reading about with ghee is like if it's super grainy, that is like okay, according to like these Indian people, and so I just assumed they were legit because they're Indian. And they say that you can either like, if you care enough, you can like freeze it, and it will like go back to all solidified, or heat it all up and then go through that. I don't think you should have to go through that. I did try this on barbecue chicken that we just made, and it was really good fried. So it was still good, but straight from the jar, not as good. And there are others that are like delicious straight from the jar. So I'm just gonna rate that one really quick. Jar packaging flavor. I didn't really get any packaging flavor from it.
Jar flavor? Oh god, super plasticky.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
What number?
10?
A 10?
Yeah.
Okay, he can really taste it. I actually only took a little bit of the flavor and then drank coffee right after, so he's probably more correct on that. Nutty flavor, I would put like an 8.
Yeah, sure.
Is that your opinion too? You just go with what I say. Alright, and then cow flavor.
So the plasticky was so overwhelming.
You didn't really taste much else?
Yeah.
Alright, cow flavor, I would put like a 7. Caramelized, like a 6. Neutral, not neutral at all. So that's like 9 on the neutral. Texture, 1 to 10. You know, 1 being gross, 10 being great. It's like at a 2.
I thought 9 meant it was really neutral, and like 0 meant that it was.
0 is like totally neutral, and then 10 is like you are not neutral.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. And then epic level.
1.
1. That's pretty far down there. It was better fried, and so we'll try it on bread and see if that gets any better. As you can tell, I had higher expectations of this one. Alright, and then we're gonna do this one like last, just because it's very different from the other Ghees. It's like a specialty Ghee. So this pure Indian foods, right now these are at room temp, and this one does have like a little bit of a wobble and shake, but it doesn't have like the clumps like this one. So yeah, it's more like a liquidy, beautiful pool of gold. So we'll see what happens. I would come show you, but it might just kind of pour out if we do that. Let me see if we can like stir it up. Yeah, and it's much thicker. Oh, it actually is very grainy near the bottom. And grainy is not necessarily bad. It tastes a little different when you just have it straight from the jar.
That's divine.
Oh wow.
Wow, I wanna.
Oh my god. It's got depths of flavor. Like it starts with something and it just keeps evolving on your tongue.
It doesn't taste as, funky as like real cultured butter. Cultured butter's got like more of that funk. And I wonder if a lot of that kind of goes away after you turn it to ghee, or if they just didn't ferment it as long. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's good. It's subtle, but it's really there and it's really good.
It goes
but it's
from
very
like
subtle.
It is subtle. It goes from like caramelized to like almost floury. Like I don't know if you've ever had edible flowers before. There's almost like a hint of that.
I feel like people that don't like funky stuff, like culture, like dry aged steaks or cultured butter, or just like fermented things, like this would be a really good starter.
I think they would like that. Yeah, it's
so
very subtle.
Yeah.
You kind of have to like pause and take it in. So I don't know how well you would taste it on fried foods, but we will try it on bread and see how it goes. So jar flavor, I don't get any jar flavor on that.
Yeah. Oh, it's made out of glass, so you should.
Sometimes the nutty flavor, I'd put it like a 2.
Sure.
What's your number?
2.
Okay. Cow flavor?
7.
I put a 7 too, but it's like a very, like you can taste it, but it's not overpowering. And then the caramelized flavor? Not much.
5.
I'm saying like a 2, so put that at 3. Neutral, it's not neutral, but it's not like overpowering.
Oh, 5.
I would say flat out 5. Texture, I really like, even though it's separated kind of like this one, the texture is much better.
Oh god, texture's like an 8, I think.
Yeah, it's a really good texture, even though they're both kind of grainy.
It's very liquidy, but it's still very good.
Yeah, and this one's like got bigger chunks. Like while they both have a little bit of grainy texture, there's really big chunks on this one. All right, we're gonna get a quick taste of the curry in a hurry. Yeah,
this is curry with ghee, not the same thing as curry. Okay.
So it's kind of a specialty one.
Yeah, that's. I don't know why we're even. I don't even know why that's.
There's a ghee on it. I'm gonna try it. Oh, it's so good.
I just want to be clear though. This is not curry flavored ghee. This is just a bunch of ghee and curry. So there's no way to rate that.
So whenever you make curry, if you want to whenever you buy those like curry sticks or like in a jar or whatever,
Oh,
a lot of times what they do, if you want to do it yourself, you just add a lot of spices. Is that really spicy to you?
Yeah.
My spice meter is not as strong as his, so I mean it's like I think things are spicier. This is like a winning moment for me, I gotta admit.
But when you have a lot of fat in it, it brings the spicy out, and I
Calms
just
it to me.
kind of it helps with that
Oh,
fat.
you got a little windpipe and spice on there.
I don't know, but ooh.
Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You got this stuff. So whenever you spice, like especially if you want to do whole spices too, you toast them in the pan for a good long while until you smell them. And the way that you can make like curry paste is once you have a lot of spices there, you add fat to it, and that's what kind of like why it just tastes like spices with like all coagulated. is because they just add the fat to it. And this, they just use ghee instead of like, say, olive oil or grapeseed or whatever that they're using to usually make curry paste. That is awesome. I am so excited.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
So good. Alright, and then we're gonna do all of them on bread right quick. And this is just like a gluten-free loaf. It's super delicious. I don't know where I put the packaging for it, but it's like a really good brand, and I've used their just like regular bread before, and it's just like rice flour and a little bit of yeast, and it's actually freaking delicious. Alright, so let's try the goat's milk one. Are you getting ghee overloaded yet? We've done
I can
7
go more.
before, so I think we've got this. Okay.
I'll just take a bite of yours.
Alright, that works.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Feels like there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's very neutral on bread, but adds a nice silkiness to bread. So I'd say it's about 4 on the how strong it is.
Sure.
And I think it was like super. I put it like an 8 for deliciousness. Like that's actually pretty good. In coffee, I don't know if you've ever heard of bulletproof coffee. I know it sounds weird to some people, but when I was doing keto, I would do like a tablespoon of coffee, a tablespoon of ghee, and like a cup of coffee. And it can be really good, and this actually did really, really deliciously in coffee. Alright, hopefully...
We're gonna do the really grainy one next.
Yeah, hopefully this tastes better on bread. Are you just gonna do a little like crouton with it?
It's actually not bad on bread.
How strong would you say it is?
Actually, it's not that strong at all on bread.
And if you were to give it a number, what number would you give it?
What, the strength?
Mm-hmm.
Like 4.
I have like a 4 too. Delicious level, I put like a 6.
Yeah.
I'm on a 6. Yeah. Alright. Goodbye. Right.
Alright, I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, this shall be delicious. Which now, of course, if it's not delicious, it'll be very sad.
Oh!
We just transported to like a 5-star restaurant.
Oh my god. Wow.
You should just
I
invite,
want to eat that all the time.
right? You need to invite like all your friends over. If they're like, you know, kind of friends and you want to actually turn them into friends, you should just like put this in a giant bowl in the middle of the table and have everyone dip out of it. And they will keep coming back. Their memories will be like, I must try this over and over. That's really good. Okay.
I agree. That's really good.
What would you put it for with some numbers?
Strength, like, I don't know, 5?
Yeah, like it's yet again, it's like you can really taste it, but it's not overwhelming anything, which is awesome. How awesome. I'm gonna put that at 10.
Yeah, same.
That's a flat out 10. Okay, cool. This feels so much faster than the other video because it was like 25 minutes. So if we were to rank these from like favorite to least favorite, I think you already know the absolute answer to that because there was only 3 and you just watched this whole video. But 1, 2, 3.
Just like this gets like 5-star platinum.
5-star platinum. Alright, cool.
Should we try the curry one?
On bread. That might actually be really good. It would kind of be like, I don't know if you've ever dipped bread and like where they'll have olive oil and a lot of herbs on top. I feel like this will be very similar to that experience. You can probably tell I love curry. I actually like to add like ginger, like fresh chopped ginger, and like I like curry.
Well, let's see how this tastes with some bread. It's actually not bad. This is straight up. I wish we had naan. Put this in.
You're right. Oh, it's so good.
That's really good.
It's just the right amount of spice, and like they use whole spices. I'm gonna talk because I got like one of the seeds in there. I think that's a caraway seed. But yeah, That is really good. I think you could honestly make that a dipping sauce. Whew. If you like a little bit of spicy. But I am very sensitive to spice, and that's not too much for me. Is it less spicy now that you had it over?
Oh yeah, I really taste it for whatever reason. I don't know. That's good. That's really good.
I'm trying to finish. Can you say goodbye, people?
Well, all this butter is
Or dogs, if your dogs are watching.
making me want to go drink
Cat.
some. Is making me kind of hungry and for some food. So, bye everybody.
Bye, all beings that are listening.